All right, everybody, we have a MotorStars video. We're going to be going over these crashes and close calls. We're going to come from an educational standpoint, so let's just take a look. I'm trying not to go heavy-handed into it, but we have lane splitting.
Okay. Let's all make sure to draw conclusions from this expensive lesson.
Oh, open lane pattern. Okay, so if you've been on this channel long enough, you know what an open lane pattern is, but if you don't know what that is, we're going to go and talk about it real quick. So we're riding. So right here, this is an open lane pattern. So this person might want to switch over because it's open. This person might want to switch over because it's open, okay? So that's kind of the idea. He cuts it off right there, okay? Let's see if I can get it right on the frame. Okay, so we have a big stack of vehicles in front of this blue car. Now, everyone's kind of stuck. I don't know. It sucks that this person did come out, but the main thing here is that this lane is moving quicker than this lane, okay? So what the car wants to do is switch to the open lane, right? And switch over. But we're here. We're on this spot right here. This person's going to switch into us. So we're going to have to do an emergency swerve to get away from it or apply emergency progressive braking to get away from it. So there's only 3 things you can do on a motorcycle when it comes to an emergency situation. Emergency accelerate, emergency brake, emergency swerve. Honking the horn, rev bombing is not a thing, okay? You could do it, but it's not going to do anything. So you can only do those 3 things to get yourself out of a dangerous spot. Oh, wrong button. And right here, you're going to have to swerve hard to the left or apply the brakes really hard. There's going to be that impact into the wall. So the main thing when it comes to lane splitting is that this is one of those hazards. It's also why I don't lane split. I do like having my phone on the handlebars, so I use rock form. There's a link in the description. It's a phone mount, so you lock it in with that little thing. I use this right here, so I could just hold on to it. I love that little accessory, and everything's magnetic. They have magnets on all that stuff, so I attach it to like my fridge when I'm in the kitchen. I attach it to like a workbench, all that stuff. At the gym, I attach to the machine, and I'm doing the stuff. So I love it. Check it out. Link in the description for 20% off. But there's gonna be that impact his left leg. That's gonna be painful. Let's go ahead and skip to the next one. Oh, that was interesting. So going pretty fast, found an escape. Good escape. So this person is riding and there's headlights. There's headlights in his lane. That shouldn't be happening. So what I've developed is the plan method over years of watching thousands of these crashes and close calls is that we're supposed to be in a position for safety. So far he is. He located that hazardous situation. Oh, headlights in my lane. Is it a relevant threat? Yes, it is. Is it an active threat? Oh, yes, it is. If I do nothing, I will get hurt. So I have to do something and navigate into a new position for safety. Okay, so what did I say? Those 3 things? Emergency brake, swerve, or accelerate. Well, in this situation, applying the brakes, probably not going to work. Hopefully, I mean, maybe it can, so that if we slow down enough, they can get into their lane again. I'm hoping. I don't want to hope. Accelerating into it, not going to help. Finding that escape path, even though it's tiny. This is the tiniest of escape paths, but he did it. He did it. He found that escape because your tire is basically my hand right here. In a car, you can't do this, but he did that. So good job not panicking and actually getting into that escape. That's all you need for an escape. Now, if that car moved over just a little bit more, we're kind of screwed. But this is why, as smart riders, we acquire and use personal protective equipment. At this speed, honestly, it's probably not going to do much, no matter what. So thankfully, he got himself out of that. So the biggest thing here to prevent any injuries to you, prevent a crash, is to put yourself in a new position for safety. Always have an escape. Always have an escape, no matter what you're doing. So good job. Good job.
It is color matched.
Color matched.
Really awesome.
So he's got a quad lock. His phone fell off because he doesn't have a rock form. Check it out.
Oh, middle finger. You're on camera.
This is an older video, so a lot of the stuff back in the day was a lot of like road rage stuff. With road rage,
I can't believe I got that on
don't
camera.
participate. There's a quote back in the day. Let's go ahead and just get the actual arguing with an idiot quote. Okay. Never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. So whenever you deal with road rage stuff, they're probably pretty good with it because they do it all the time. And if you try to argue with them, you become an idiot too. So just think of them as idiots, and you don't want to be an idiot, so you don't participate in idiotic conversations. So just don't do it. Sometimes it's best just not to participate.
If I got that on camera.
All right, we're in the blind spot. Okay, we're side by side. Don't like it, but we're fine. Would you stop for this light? It's a yellow light. Only if there was a left turner starting to go, I would apply the brakes. But if I'm able to stop in time, yes, I would. Having both hands on the handlebars when you're coming to an intersection, because it is a hazardous situation. When we locate, we're locating intersections and corners. So whenever I'm coming up to an intersection, both hands on the handlebars, ready to stop if I need to. If it's a yellow like this, and I can't stop in time for some reason, I'll go through it. But you're also taking that risk, especially if there's a left turner. So he's able to stop in time, very good. Thankfully, yeah, keep two hands on the wheel. Thankfully, the Mercedes behind him stopped. So if there's like a car right on my butt and it turns yellow, if I try to apply the brakes, I'm hoping they are. But if it's clear for me and it's yellow, I'm going to go through because I don't trust that they're going to stop in time. They're probably going to hit me.
I had time to stop, bro. And I'm saying, like, don't whine about me. I gotta break somewhere, man. I need to take a break. I need to zip myself as a Red Bull, man. Oh,
He's a little tired.
This is never gonna get on YouTube.
All right, so we have hazards left and right because we can't do much. There's a car coming up ahead of us. Get ourselves in a new position for safety. Maybe slow it down because we clipped the mirror. Slow it down if you saw that. Just kind of move over ahead of time. Don't wait till the last second to move over. All right, do we have an intersection?
The driver decided to ignore
Neighborhood
the
areas like
and
this,
how it-
lots of intersections.
Unfortunately, this wasn't the end of a series of incomprehensible behavior.
Here's an intersection right there. Oh, we slammed the front brake and laid her down. So progressive braking is super important. Applying the brakes. Yeah, they had a stop sign, but they probably stopped and then just gunned it. Let's see if they did a rolling stop.
Unfortunately, this wasn't the end of a series of incomprehensible behavior.
Yeah, they didn't stop at all. So when it comes to locating those hazardous situations, intersections. Okay, cool. We got it. Is it a relevant threat? It's starting to come into our intersection. So yes, it is. It's now become an active threat because I don't have to stop. I can keep going. They're supposed to stop. So when I see that, I'm starting to apply the brakes. Like this is one of those situations, out of those three things, I don't need to swerve. I don't need to accelerate. I can start applying progressive brake pressure, let them through, and then you go. Okay. But if we get to this point and we panic because we're not locating, we're not paying attention, and we now see it, panic. But if we're constantly locating, we see these things ahead of time, we don't panic. Okay, you're prepped, you're prepared. And so then we can apply that progressive brake pressure to get ourselves stopped or slowed down enough. We don't have to stop. We could just slow down enough to let them through. They applied the brakes. You notice how the front end dove down? That's what's happening to you when you apply the brakes. Your front end dives down. When you slam the front brakes, it dives down so much so quick, and you lock up that front tire, it slides and you fall underneath it. And that's what happened here, is that he slammed it, it fell. The bike fell and he fell over. Yeah, that sucks. And this is why I wear full gear. Please wear full gear, because if you hit your head, it's going to hopefully minimize the level of concussion that you're going to have. You're probably going to have a small concussion, so you're going to have a headache and whatnot. But then he also hit the sides of his body, so that's why you wear full gear just in case. Now, in this incident, this car did not hit you. They don't have to stay. I would stop and see if the person's okay, but they didn't have to stay if they didn't want to, which sucks because they did run the red, or run the stop sign. So if you have it recorded, just report it if you want to. But I don't know if they're going to do much. Let's move on. All right. I guess we're right at the end. Let's take a look. All right, cruising on our little Sportster. You don't see much of these anymore because they moved to the new models. Oh. So, panic. Oh, it's a Yamaha Bolt, not a Sportster. He panicked with his right foot. Going into the corner a little bit too fast. Okay, apply a little bit of that front brake to slow yourself down, make the corner. Okay, fundamental skills. When we get into a panic, especially if we're coming from car driving, when we go from car driving, accelerator with our right foot, panic. Stop, use our right foot on the brake pedal, Well, on a motorcycle, the rear brake is the right foot. So typically what happens is like, oh, we panic. It's a natural muscle memory. Slam that rear brake. And so that's why the rear tire slid out right there. So we fishtailed because we applied too much rear brake, locked up that rear tire. So how do we prevent that? Well, we start locking it up, release it. Make the focus on the corner. Just make the corner. Turn, 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 turn. A lot of these problems are a lot of people just don't turn. Sharp right turn coming up ahead. So it's a sharp right turn for us. It's a sharp left turn for that person that went around the corner. They weren't paying attention. So we're actually seeing it from a different point of view. Now, how do we help them out? Yep. They weren't paying attention. They had 2 lanes to work with and still couldn't make it. How do we help them? Check for any major bleeds. Stop those major bleeds. If they don't have any, there's not much you can do. But if they do, please stop those major bleeds.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Careful, bro.
What's wrong with you?
Hey, you gotta be careful, bro. There's a cop right there.
Okay, not too concerned about road rage. Like I said, just regulate your emotions.
You hit one of us, we're dying, bro.
All right. Cops ignore bad driver that almost hits truck. Okay. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay.
People were driving up the wrong way. Right in
There's
front of
idiots
3
out there.
cops and nobody cared.
That's what you have to watch out for idiots. If you see somebody doing something weird, just stay away from them.
They choose probably the worst possible place to try to show off.
Oh, right in front of cops? Is he going to accelerate too hard and lose traction on that rear tire? Yep. Happens all the time. So that is one of the tight turns from a stop. Okay, it's one of those motorcycle operations skills tests that you're going to have to do if you want to get your endorsement. And what he did was accelerated too hard right off the stop, and the rear tire spun, lost traction. So one thing I have developed over the years is the Smart Rider motorcycle training drills. There's 24 drills, so a bunch of different drills. You set up the cones once, just like that. I have a QR code that demonstrates how to do that, so you have at least me coaching you. Set it up once, you have 24 motorcycle drills, and it's going to teach you how to friction zone, throttle control, head and eye movement, so you don't make the same mistake. There's a link in the description for 20% off. You get a digital drill version. So even if you get the physical booklet, you get the digital version of it. And same thing, all the QR codes, you click it and it'll take you to the video. There's also just the digital version if you just want that. But take a look. Don't make the same mistake. It's pretty ridiculous. You notice how like a lot of people are like, oh, you promote your book a lot. Well, I keep seeing all these people crashing for the most simplest things ever. And so I developed a book to prevent those things because you practice your skills. So practice your skills, okay? Simple as that. And you don't need a big parking lot to do it. You can do it in like one of the cul-de-sacs at the end of the street. Okay.
Going, lady. Going.
They don't know how to do 4-way stops.
Sign.
You had a stop sign too, but it's a 4-way. They didn't know how to do it. It was your turn. That's fine. But thankfully you saw it ahead of time and nobody got hit. That's a big deal. Okay, what else? Do you have another close call? No, okay. All right, here we go. Can't see much because of the GoPro. Very cool though. Okay, we're riding on the shoulder. Not very smart. Very close. Stay on the road. Don't ride on the shoulder, guys. Okay? You kind of run into issues there. Oh, same thing from earlier. Thankfully, they moved back over. But we can move ourselves into a position for safety just in case they didn't. We don't want to trust that they will. So move off to the sides as best you can. Find that escape. Get yourself out of there. Okay, pull in the clutch. Probably getting ready to apply the brakes. Okay.
Getting it, I'm getting it, I'm getting it, I'm getting it.
Looks like we're having a lot of fun here. Oh, loop the bike. Hopefully we don't get hit. We need some milk. Okay. High risk, high skill to do this. I just wish people would wear gear when they do this stuff. I don't understand why they don't. Icon makes some really flexible D30 armor gear. He's doing some push-ups. Very nice. Very nice.
Go, bro. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
We got your bike.
It's very important that everyone here at least has some medical training, especially if you're doing these high skill, high risk maneuvers. If somebody starts bleeding out and nobody knows what to do, you're in a bad spot.
How's it going?
Straight.
My pride.
Visibility.
How are you?
All right, here we go. So we're gonna move on to here.
Driver from the opposite direction.
When you start seeing a bunch of vehicles kind of like stuck behind big semis and stuff, and it's like this kind of a road where the only time to pass is to get into your lane, and you see all these vehicles, just be aware that somebody, you know, if I was stuck, I would want to switch over, but I'm gonna make sure that there's no vehicles coming. So if I'm riding and I see this, I'm like, somebody's gonna want to pass, and that means they're gonna get in front of me. So I'm gonna just be very cautious, get ready to switch over and get into a better position for safety, just like this.
Just a bit.
So perfect. So we're in the middle, right? So we're locating a hazardous situation, bunch of stacked cars. The only way to pass is to get in my lane. I'm assessing if there's I'm assessing if there's going to be a relevant threat. And so I'm going to get ready to navigate into a new position for safety, which is going to be off to the side. So I'm in the middle. I see somebody. I positioned off to the side. So very good. Position off to the side, because now if I can't stay here because they take up the whole lane, I can move off onto the shoulder. Super easy. Versus if I was over here and I'm like, oh crap, there's a car. I have to swerve hard to get over. So he moved over, witnessing it, and then now this is all he has to do. If they take up the space, I would still move over to this escape, even if I had room right here. I'm trying to give myself as much space as possible from this idiot.
Just a bit.
But good job, new position for safety. That's an old GoPro Hero. I used to have one of those. All right, so lots of different vehicles. Intersection, hazardous area. Okay, good, we're out of it. So new intersection, hazardous area. Oh, side of the vehicle. Good swerve. You have to do it. Good swerve. Okay, lots of traffic, intersections. There's a side of the vehicle. It's a hazardous area. That's a good opportunity for emergency acceleration to get out of it. So very good on him. Side of the vehicle, intersection, hazardous area. Lots of people crossing. Don't stare at him. He's already out of your way. Okay. He's in your path. Slow it down right here. He's out of your way. My concern is that guy now. I don't know if that guy's going to go. So I'm not going to stare at this person because then I take my eyes off of this new hazard. That's going to be the one I'm worried about. Side of the vehicle, once again. Okay, people turning out in front of you, just slow it down when you see that so you can get out of the way. Blind spot, they're going to come in our lane. Just don't be in blind spots. Ride staggered with other cars like you're in a group ride with other cars. So whenever you're on the road and you're by yourself riding, just pretend you're in a group ride. All the time. I accidentally hit mute. Pretend you're in a group ride. Yep. There it is. Lane filtering because it's California, I'm assuming. No, he just wants to get side by side. Yeah, so they switched over. Happens all the time, Tesla or not. Okay, so we're just going through traffic. It's an intersection. Be very cautious. Anybody coming into your lane. We're supposed to go in our first available lane. That guy didn't. So roll off the throttle, let him in. Not a big deal. Stupid, I get it, but it's better than, a multi-thousand-pound vehicle versus you. All right, side of the vehicle, slow it down. It's a green light for us. Doesn't matter. Just find your open spot. We're turning left, so it's not a big deal. Let them deal with it. Guy was an idiot. Side of the vehicle, once again. Okay. We had plenty of space. Just you roll off the throttle, apply a little bit of brake pressure, let them through. All right, we're accelerating, kind of hard, but then this guy slows down for us. So just kind of chill on this on-ramp. It's kind of scary because you want to get up to speed with the flow of traffic. Don't pass. Just don't worry about that. So this parking lot right here, you see how big this is? It's not very big, is it? You could do the drills in this. You have plenty of space in a parking lot like this to do the drills. You only need a 40 by 60 for the cones. So I would do about 60 by 80 of a parking lot feet. And I show you how to do it. You don't need to bring a tape measure. I measured my feet, not my feet, but I measured my walking. And so 8 steps for me is 20 feet. And so now I just do it by walking and setting up the cones. And I show you how to do that in the book with the QR code on how to set up. But this right here is a perfect parking lot. He's pointing at the leaves and the gravel. You can kick that out of the way if you need to. What are we gonna do here?
What? What? It's a private parking lot. What do you want? What?
Who cares? And you might deal with somebody like this, but you're just practicing in a parking lot. It's not a big deal. If you're doing it in a private parking lot, like at a church, and the church tells you to leave, leave. But if it's just some random person,
Private parking lot.
so schools on the weekends are good. Churches during the weekdays are good. But if anybody tells you to leave, like the church or the school tells you to leave, just leave. Just find a new place.
But you're driving by. What? You're driving by. How are we disturbing you?
He's creating issues. Figure it out.
I asked you a question.
Yeah, we don't need to deal with that. But that's how you can practice your motorcycle skills. But make sure you grab a donut. Hit that subscribe button. Check the links in the description for all that stuff and the discount code. And I'll see you guys on the next live stream.